everyone! Today I'm going to teach you how to make a simple and elegant centerpiece for your wedding or event coming up using pink, purple, and white flowers. Let's get started. In this arrangement, I'll be using an assortment of dahlias, some small zinnias, some yarrow, some Japanese spirea, a bit of sedum, and then a bit of greenery that I found on a random bush in my backyard. I grew all of these flowers in my garden, but if you don't have access to a garden, you can totally go to your local flower farm or a store to pick up an assortment of flowers. Let's make sure that the vase is pretty small because we want the flowers to look like they're exploding out of the arrangement. Also, the foam should fit into the vase and you should soak the foam with a bit of water before putting your flowers in. Here we go. In my last floral arrangement, I started off with the larger flowers, but today I'm going to start off with some of the greenery so that I can then fit the flowers into the arrangement. So let's start with the sedum. I don't want it to be too tall. I think that's already too tall. And I'm going to cut the stem on an angle. There. I put 4 pieces of sedum spaced out on the sides of the vase and then put 1 piece of sedum in the center to map out the shape of the arrangement. Okay, now that the sedum is in, I'm going to fit a few of the dahlias in to fill in some of this space here. I think I want to start with this beautiful pinky purple dahlia and fit it in right here. When adding the dahlias, I placed similar colors on approximately opposite sides of each other and featured the most interesting dahlia slightly off-center to draw the eye to it. I also added a small globular dahlia to the center because it was so cute and added a bit of interest to the arrangement. If you find the flowers aren't sitting quite right, feel free to readjust them like I had to. Also, when you're creating your own centerpiece, if you want it to look similar to this one, try to place your flowers in the shape of a round ball. Now I'm going to put the zinnias in, and I'm going to let them stick out the top a little bit for a little bit of texture in the bouquet. Not too far. We don't want it to look like it doesn't fit in the arrangement. After I finished filming, I ended up putting the zinnias a bit lower in the centerpiece. And now we're going to put a bit of Japanese spirea in because it is beautiful and I feel like the flowers really do match. The great thing about using Japanese spirea is that the stems are very durable and you don't need to worry about them breaking. And now we're going to fit in some yarrow. It really adds an elegant touch to the bouquet, as well as the sedum. The sedum is quite elegant. When adding the yarrow, I made sure to spread all the stems throughout the arrangement so the centerpiece looked somewhat uniform. For our final touch, we are going to add some greenery to the bottom of the arrangement and in between if we can fit it. We're running out of space, so we've got to really conserve here. I cut the greenery down into fairly small pieces, only a few inches each, and then gently fit them into the spaces left at the bottom of the centerpiece. When I tried fitting the greenery into the center of the arrangement, it wouldn't fit very well because I indeed did run out of space, so sometimes less is more, and I decided to leave the greenery out of the bulk of the arrangement and stuck to having the greenery only at the bottom. Ooh, I think we could use something there. Let's get a little piece of greenery. This could be too much, so I'll just trim that down. Yes. We could use some here as well, couldn't we? Okay, so our final product, our beautiful pink, purple, and white flower centerpiece that can definitely be used for a wedding or another type of event. I am very happy with this. I think I'm going to put it on the center of my table because I do not want to let this go to waste. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something. If you would like to create a flower arrangement like this, make sure that you have a small vase. It is tricky to fit some of the flowers in at the end, but I know you can make it work with a bit of patience. You can do this. I know you can do this. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day and see you next time.